Hey, Ron, I got him.
How many times have I told you not to burst in here like that?
Well, it's not exactly like I'm interrupting anything.
I'll be the judge of that. The point is you could have, and I want that to stop.
All right, all right.
Now, what's this all about?
I got the pictures. We can go ahead with phase 2 now.
I like it, yeah. I like the choice of colors. It all works together well.
Thanks.
Good job.
Thanks. And last but not least...
Pink?
You don't like it?
A little unexpected, Marianne.
Exactly. See, the element of surprise is just what's needed there. Well, my heart is not set on it, but, you know, I thought it might be fun to discuss. Yes, Janice? Oh, sure. Just send her on in. Okay, well, what do you think?
Well, I don't hate it. I just, can we tone the color down a little?
Yeah, I guess, as long as
Okay.
the same basic statement is made.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Why don't we do that?
All right.
Now, who's Janice sending in?
Some woman named Phillips.
Amber Phillips?
Right.
Marianne? Just 1 second. Thanks. Amber, what a surprise.
Good afternoon, Gil.
Well, I'm glad we're finally off that last name basis.
Well, in business, one has to make compromises.
You're right.
Excuse me. Hi, I'm Marianne Prescott. I'm Gil's forgotten sister.
Amber Phillips, Modeling Associates.
Well, I'm sorry you won't have time to get acquainted with each other. Marianne was just leaving.
Oh,
Yeah, and thank you for running those errands. I appreciate it. I'll owe you one.
honestly, Gil. Maybe some other time, Miss Phillips.
Yes, I'd really like that.
Bye-bye.
She seems very nice.
Yeah, oh, she makes a good impression. But after that, it's all downhill. Why don't you have a seat, please?
And she's very pretty, too. Has she ever considered a modeling career?
I don't think so. That's not a bad idea. I've been trying to get her out of the office more often. I'll mention it to her. So, what can I do for you?
Yes, I came to make sure that everything was all set for next week's shoot on the construction site.
Yeah, well, it just so happens, Amber, it isn't. I've been having some serious doubts about the whole thing.
What?
Well,
You can't say no. You've signed release forms giving your approval already. If you say no, I'll have to scrap the entire project. Do you have any idea what kind of position this puts me in?
now hold on. I didn't say I wasn't going to let you. I just... a few concerns, that's all.
Like what?
Well, like the safety of your models around the construction.
If you'll recall, Mr. Prescott,
Now, we're not back on that basis again, are we?
you signed several release forms during our so-called business dinner last week, releasing your company of all responsibilities of any possible injuries incurred.
I did.
You did. Believe me, I'm much more concerned about the safety of my models at the hands of your employees than anything else.
Do you know your nose crinkles up when you get excited?
Why don't you go into the powder room and freshen up, sweetheart? I want you to look your best for tonight.
Is that a complaint about the way I look now?
No, of course not. It's merely a suggestion.
If you need any help, don't hesitate to call.
Oh, buzz off, hairball.
Hey, Rod, she's crazy about it.
All right, let's stick to business, shall we? Now, give me those pictures. Let me see them.
Sure, right.
Wow. These are nice. Very nice. Our friend Blue may be a mental midget, but he knows how to take a good picture. These will be fine. Any one of them will do.
Hey, man, this thing's gonna go like clockwork. When Carpenter sees these, he'll be shaking in his boots. It's foolproof, Ron.
With you involved in it, that's going to be a necessity. And get your foot off of my sofa.
Now, come on, give me a little credit where credit's due.
If I did that, then you'd have been out a long time ago.
Look, nothing's gonna go wrong this time. I personally guarantee it.
Interesting choice of words. Care to guess what you're guaranteeing it with?
It's like I said, no slip-ups this time.
All right, then, let's go over this. I want you to give Carpenter another call this afternoon. I want you to ride him hard, and I don't want you to let up for a second.
That's no problem. You can listen on the other extension.
Not from here, you idiot. I want you to call from a payphone. We don't take chances on this one.
Okay, all right, all right.
Don't forget that Sergeant Brubaker came snooping around here already.
All right, I'll make sure nobody sees me when I make the call.
Also, I want you to make sure the Carpenter understands if he brings the police in on this, his daughter is dead.
Hey, I can be very convincing at stuff like that, Ron.
You'd better be. And tell him we want the money in small bills.
Right.
And that we've got connections. And that if anyone's suspicions are aroused, it'd be the same as if you went to the police.
Hey, that's good. That sounds real good. Is that it?
No. There's just one more thing. I don't want you to come back here with anything but a report of success.
You never give up, do you?
No, I don't. You know, I'll accept nothing less than unconditional surrender.
Really? Mm-hmm. Those are pretty tough terms.
I know. But the funny thing is, I'm actually a very tender guy underneath. I just need, well, the right person to bring that quality out in me.
And I'd be willing to bet you think I'm the person for the job.
Thought has occurred to me.
I see.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Certainly is a busy place.
Yeah, well, now, where were we?
Excuse me, just a second.
I think this young man belongs here more than I do. No, please stay. I was just on my way out.
Oh, it's okay. I got what I want. One more thing.
But you might as well stay, Peter. Peter, this is Amber Phillips. Amber, Peter Davidson.
Pleasure.
Likewise.
Peter's my assistant.
Well, don't let me keep you from whatever it is that you came in here to do. Thank you very much, Gil. I may need to get back in contact with you before next week's shoot. You are generally at this office, right?
Or at the Greenbrier restaurant, any night you name. What do you say?
I think, goodbye pretty much covers it.
Bye. Holy cow. Yeah, I think I'm in love.
Spare me.
No, really.
Aren't you the guy that told me that sex and love, they have nothing to do with each other? Something like that, remember?
Yeah, and I'm glad you reminded me. You are learning.
You'll never change, will you?
Why should I? I'm having too much fun.
Mama, don't you think you're pushing it just a little by knitting booties this early?
Oh, no, because next I've got to get to the sweater. And then, I got to try to remember how to figure out how to make those little bonnets that I used to make. And then I want to get to mend those little things that Jimmy used to have when he was little.
Mama, what is there going to be for me to do?
Now, you just concentrating on having a nice little healthy grandchild for me. That'll be enough.
It is almost too good to be true, isn't it?
Oh, but it is. No, I'd like to tell you, you've made an old woman very happy.
I don't see any old woman.
Oh, you know what I mean.
What do you think of that dress?
Pretty.
Yeah. I wish there was some way to have a baby without looking like a freight train. Well, everybody thinks a pregnant woman looks beautiful, but the pregnant woman,
Well, what does she know?
not much. Mama, you remember when the pastor read the Christmas story in church on Christmas morning? I couldn't help but think that I must be feeling pretty much the same way Mary must have felt, honored and privileged. It's a big responsibility carrying a whole nother life around inside of me. And that verse, Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart, that really meant a lot to me.
I couldn't help but look at you when I heard that. I pretty much felt the same thing.
Everybody was so excited and happy when I announced it on Christmas Eve, weren't they?
Yes, almost everybody. Poor Laurie. She just stood there like the wind had been knocked out of her. Oh, I just have awful concern for that child.
Mom, you don't think it was a mistake for me to do that, do you? I mean, to announce it like I did.
Oh, no, no, no. It had nothing to do with you, honey. It's just that her readjustment isn't going as everyone had hoped for. I'm going to see her sometime this week. You know, there's no such thing as too much encouragement for her right now.
That's a good idea. I think I'll go with you. Mommy, you don't think that Jimmy's jealous of the new baby, do you?
Well, why would you say a thing like that?
Well, I don't know. He's been an only child for quite some time, and he could resent the intrusion.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. Judging from his reaction, I would say it's just the opposite. Well, I think he's just looking upon this as a sign of yours and Jean's love for each other, and also a sign that maybe it's for good this time. I would say he's just about as happy about it as the rest of us, maybe even more so.
Hello?
What, did I catch you at a bad time?
Who is this?
Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today, Carpenter?
Oh, it's you. I've been waiting for your call, and I can do without your snide remarks, thank you.
Well, how about your daughter? Can you do without her?
What do you want?
Oh, you got a very bad memory, Carpenter. I want $400,000.
And I want to know whether or not my daughter is alive. She may be dead for all I know, and this is a very cruel game you're playing with me.
Knock it off, Pops. I call all the shots here. It doesn't matter what you want. You understand? Now, you are right about one thing, though. This is a game we're playing, and I'm making up all the rules as we go along. So you better be careful, Carpenter, or I may just take my ball and go home.
Would it be possible for me to speak to her?
No, don't ask again.
Let me tell you something about business transactions, my young friend. I don't buy anything on faith. I always demand to see what I'm getting.
Now, let me tell you something, pal. I told you I call all the shots here, you understand? No more demands. Now, just as soon slice the broad up and sit here and listen to this nonsense. And if you think I'm kidding, you just try me. You think I'm kidding? Huh? You think I'm kidding, Carpenter?
No, I don't.
Good. Good. Now, it just so happens I had a little photo session with your daughter the other day. Oh, by the way, she's a real looker. Now, you'll be getting a picture of her holding up a recent newspaper in the mail very soon. That should satisfy you whether or not she's alive or not. Once you get that, I'll get back with you to tell you how to get the money to me. And remember, small bills.
Look, about the money, I'm running into a slight problem.
Well, those are words I don't like to hear, Carpenter.
I realize that, and I don't like saying them, but you said that you didn't want anything to cause any suspicion, and raising or getting that much money quietly might take as long as 2 weeks. I've got my lawyer working on it right now.
Now, you told somebody else about this?
Well, I had to. He was here the last time you called.
No, I specifically told you not to tell anybody.
Listen, please. Now, my movements are restricted because of my health. Sooner or later, I was going to have to include somebody to help me. But you have nothing to worry about. Harold Webster will do everything I tell him to do.
Webster, huh? Does that include not going to the police?
Especially that. Especially that. No, I'm following your instructions to the letter. I haven't, and he won't.
No, I don't like this. I don't like this at all, man.
No, wait a minute. You've got to give me more time. Hello? Hello?
Peter, listen, you know, if Vicky wanted to do something to get even with me, she would have done it by now. It's an empty threat.
Nah, I don't know. She doesn't seem like the type who'd just say something and not follow through with it.
Well, actually, she has held up my paperwork at the Canterbury office complex. But, you know, it was a little annoying, but no big deal. I mean, hardly the big revenge that she swore on me. But I let her think it is, you know, just to keep her harmless. Mm-hmm. You know, the way I see it, though, it's partially your fault. You were supposed to help me patch things up with her, remember?
What?
Okay, now, calm down. Just kidding, really.
You better be.
Give me another month and I'll have her eaten out of my hand again.
You mean that, don't you?
Yeah,
After all you've done to her, all you put her through.
Davidson, You know, I think it's about time you heard of the cold, hard facts.
Excuse me. I think I hear my mother calling me.
Okay, fine. It's your loss.
I'm gonna regret this, but what are the cold, hard facts?
Yeah, okay. Now, what I have to offer, well, most women can't resist.
Please, back it up.
No,
Just- please.
I know it sounds conceited, but hey, we got to look at this thing from a purely objective point of view, okay?
Absolutely.
Now, when it comes to my looks, you know, I'm definitely on the attractive side, right? Well, now I know I can't help that. It was kind of an accident of birth. Kind of like being musical or athletic there.
Athletic, right?
Yeah. Now, temperate-wise, well, I'm in the category of being charming, which the women also love.
No question about that.
And when it comes to my career, I am on the way to the top, which definitely impresses the women because it means I'm going to have money.
Which is also an accident of birth. Is this what you do all day when I'm not around?
Yeah, among other things.
And just what did you do with that attractive model after you forced me out of the office guild?
Strictly talked business.
Sure, And I suppose you're going to personally supervise the photo session, dazzling her with your charm all the while.
Yeah. Oh. And if you play your cards right, Davidson, you'll be able to help me. I mean, don't forget, my leftovers are better than most people's main course.
Mr. Carpenter.
Well, Mrs. Redland.
Well, I thought you might be feeling a little lonely. I thought I'd come over and cheer you up.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Well, may I?
Well, I am rather
well,
busy.
It's all right. I'm not going to stay very long. So, how you feeling?
Oh, about as well as could be expected, I suppose.
Uh-huh. And Christmas, how was your Christmas? How was that?
Gloomy.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's never been one of my favorite holidays, and what with the situation the way
well, maybe the new year will bring you a little happier news.
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter, have you heard any news about Miriam's disappearance?
None. And this doesn't happen to be one of my favorite topics of conversation, Mrs. Redland.
Oh, yes, of course. But there's another reason for my visit. The letter from Miriam's son. Tell me, what did it say? Dear Mom, boy, was I surprised to get your letter. You sure sound different. I'm glad everything's working out okay for you. We're okay here, too. Well, pretty much okay. Dad has the flu. They call that the grip here in England. I didn't know that, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh. I told Dad they should call it grump, because that's what it is when he's sick. I like England pretty much, but they have rotten peanut butter. Dad says we can visit you, but he wants you to write or give him a call. We could even come as soon as Dad's better. I'd like that. I miss all my friends. I miss Grandma and Grandpa, too. Tell them hello for me. Well, I guess that's it. Sincerely, Eric. P.S. How do you like my new name? P.P.S. I miss you a lot, Mom. Oh, it sounds like a lovely child.
Well, he is a carpenter.
Oh, well, he'll be seeing his mother very soon again. And there are too many people praying for Miriam's return for it not to happen.
Is that so? Let me tell you something, Mrs. Redland. If my daughter returns, your God and your prayers won't have been responsible. It will be me who does it. God is a rather handy fella to you, isn't he? You give him all the credit when things go right and clear yourself of blame when things go wrong. Do you know who I blame for the abduction of Miriam? You.
What?
If you hadn't opened your home to her, she never would have been in that terrible neighborhood. You interfered in a family situation you had absolutely no right to do. Did you ever think of that? So the next time you get on your knees to give God credit, be sure you save a little for yourself. You did a first-rate job on this one.
Well, it's understandably clear you're pretty upset, Mr. Carpenter. Perhaps I shouldn't have come. Excuse me.
Mrs. Redland, there is one thing that I do agree with you on, though. Miriam will come back, and safely, too. And when she does, I will not allow her to have anything at all to do with you.
I may just go back outside and come back in again if I get a greeting like that.
Well, you don't have to. You can get all the loving you want anytime you like on request.
It's awfully quiet in here.
Mm-hmm.
Where's everyone?
Jimmy's outside playing, and Mama had some visiting to do. And she's running some errands afterwards, so she won't be home for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two people with but a single thought.
How do you know that Webster hasn't gone to the police?
I just know, okay?
Maybe Carpenter's been to the police.
No, Ron, he hasn't. I mean, he might have been thinking about it, but by the time I got through him, it turned out just like I said it would. He was shaking in his boots. He knows we're serious.
He'd better know that.
The only other thing is that he's afraid it may take a little longer than he thought to get the dough. He knows that if he moves too quick, people will get suspicious, and he knows that'd make us very unhappy.
How much longer did he say?
Oh, maybe 2 weeks. But, boss, he's got a point. You know, if people do know that his daughter's missing, they might put 2 and 2 together.
2 weeks, huh? That's good. Yeah, we could use the time, too. We need to tighten up a few things, like making absolutely sure that the cops aren't in on this. All right. That'll be fine. But don't tell Carpenter that. I want you to tell him that he's got his 2 weeks, and that we're very unhappy about it. You got that?